BCM390 Media, War and Peace. Conspiracy Theories in the Case of Malaysian Flight MH370. A film short by James Crowe. No event of any significance in the world today, be it an unexpected election result, a terrorist attack, the death of a public figure, a meteorological anomaly, or a flu pandemic, takes place without generating at least a flutter of conspiracy speculations. With this in mind, the media item I have chosen for my short is an edited graphic of an airplane flight tracker. The tracker belonged to Malaysian Airlines flight number MH370. The image shows a standard flight tracker, similar to that which can be seen on the in-flight television sets, and shows the point of last contact with the aeroplane. However, the image has been edited to include the point where MH370 disabled one communication system, the point where the last radar contact was made, and a hypothesized alternative flight path. I chose this image over the original flight tracker, pictured here, because it not only gives more information, but it gives an idea of how many of the most popular conspiracy theories surrounding flight MH370 came to be. The image can be found on extremetech.com in an article entitled Malaysian PM confirms flight MH370 ended in the Indian Ocean, which was published on the 24th of March 2014. Flight MH370 was a Malaysian Airlines flight flying from Kuala Lumpur to Beijing and disappeared on the 8th of March 2014, less than an hour after it took off. The flight was a Boeing 777, which had 12 Malaysian crew members and 227 passengers from 14 nations around the world. The search for flight MH370 began in the Gulf of Thailand before extending to the South China Sea, the Strait of Malacca, and the Andaman Sea. On the 15th of March it was revealed that military radars had tracked the flight as it headed west across the Malay Peninsula and continued on that trajectory for another 7 hours. 3 days later, on the 18th of March, the Australian Maritime Safety Authority began searching the southern Indian Ocean. This made the search effort the largest ever multicultural search and rescue effort in history. However, on the 24th of March 2014, the Malaysian government concluded, beyond any reasonable doubt, that the plane had crashed into the Indian Ocean, leaving no survivors. The crash site is yet to be found. There has been a plethora of media coverage surrounding flight MH370 over the last 6 weeks. Media coverage ranging from updates about the missing plane, hypotheses about where the missing plane could be found, and coverage of the families and the worldwide support generated for the passengers and families of flight MH370. When critically analysing my media piece using Stuart Hall's model of encoding and decoding media, we can examine how the message has been produced and decoded with different meanings. The author's intention of this picture is strictly to inform. However, although many people have decoded the image with the intended purpose, the way it has been decoded by a large portion of viewers has led to several conspiracy theories being formed. At this point, I should admit that this image did not cause conspiracy theories by itself, but did help to increase and spread them. Because the dominant meaning is strictly based on facts, it is impossible for audiences to decode the image in a completely oppositional way. This means that when audience members see the image and think of conspiracy theories, they are taking a negotiated reading of the text. When compared to the original media text, the changes made, although minor, completely change the way the text is perceived. This is the power of symbols and images and can be explored when employing a semiotic textual analysis of my media piece. The addition of text blocks indicating the disabling of communications and the last contact of the plane create a sense of intention. Combine this with the fact that military radar spotted the airliner hundreds of miles off course and a suspected new trajectory, and it is easy to see why so many people theorized all kinds of conspiracies. Conspiracy is defined by the Australian Law Dictionary as an agreement between two or more persons to achieve an uncommon lawful objective. Common unlawful objective. The offence consists of an agreement and the intention when the agreement is made to carry out the unlawful objective. This can be extremely hard to prove, especially in the case of proving intent. However, conspiracy theories are defined by the Oxford English Dictionary as a belief that some covert but influential organisation is responsible for an unexplained event. This is much easier to discuss in terms of most scenarios, and especially in the case of Flight MH370. The three major conspiracy theories surrounding MH370 are as follows. Number 1. The US government have intercepted the plane and are keeping it at Diego Garcia Air Base because several passengers on the flight were said to be selling new weapons technology to China. This theory is the most widespread and popular of all, with freelance journalists such as Jim Stone advocating the theory on their blogs. Diego Garcia is located 4,700 kilometers northwest of Australia and has 1,700 military personnel living on there. The island is said to be one of the world's most remote locations, making it an ideal place to hide a plane. This theory is supported by the media piece because Diego Garcia is on a similar trajectory to the hypothesized one shown in the picture. It is also supported by the addition of the last radar contact point and the fact that the American government did not bring that information forth, but it was offered up by Australian intelligence when they joined the search party. This could also be related to the definition of conspiracies, as the US military would have been working with somebody on board the plane to disable the first communication device, as pictured in my media item. Conspiracy theory number 2. The pilot shadowed another plane to trick the satellite image. The second most popular theory making its way around the internet is that the pilot shadowed another Boeing 777 on a similar flight path. Several reasons have been offered forward as to why this might have happened, perhaps in conjunction with theories number 1 and 3, or as part of a separate stunt put together by several parties. This theory is also supported by my media item in the way that the flight path stopped so suddenly. Similarly, in the fact that communication devices have been previously disabled, pointing to the fact that this was a planned stunt. When observing the trajectory on my media item compared to the intended flight path, you can see that the flight was already drifting slightly east of the correct course before the image stops. And finally, conspiracy theory number 3. That Al-Qaeda was somehow responsible. It's almost impossible for something to go amiss in this day and age without Al-Qaeda's name being thrown into the mix. This theory came forward when it became apparent that several of the passengers on board were using fake passports that had been lost or stolen previously. This so-called evidence fits in well with the conspiracy definition, as it appears that at least 2 people are involved and could be working for a larger agency. This information, with the knowledge that the communication system was manually disabled as seen in my media piece, could suggest that Al-Qaeda or some other organization could be responsible. A final thought to leave on. David Aaronovitch, author of Voodoo Histories, The Role of Conspiracy Theories in Shaping Modern History, told the Sunday Times, "Given that people can make conspiracy theories out of something that is fully explained, like the moon landing, it is not surprising that they will fill the void in a genuine mystery with conspiracy theories. Essentially, these people can't face the thought of chaos. They can't face the role of accident or contingency in life, and they have to attribute agency."